Hello, thank you for joining me again. This is In Spirit Speaks. This is January 15th, 2020. It is currently 12:12 p.m. Central Standard Time. Putting a time and date stamp on some important information, and just want to let you know at the outset that um, the information I've been receiving, called an evolution idea, is a four-part series. So I'm going to present one part of it today. So this may be a little bit of a briefer transmission than I have been doing previously, but please know that it will be in four parts conceivably. And I may begin with this one today and do the second one tomorrow. I'm just going to wait and see how the council presents information. But if you've never seen me before, my name is Lana J. Thomas. I am a health psychologist, spiritualist primarily, and have spent a lot of time in pursuit of the spiritual dream, let's call it that. Everything that we all strive for and we want so badly, and 40 some years of ardent searching and communicating with different types of entities over the years, having a number of different types of experiences, events, lots of study. And the events have been the most significant in my transformation. So recently, a few months ago, I was contacted by a group called the Council of Wisdom. And as they have explained themselves to me and who their existence, they would be the lesser four of the seven rays that dominate our entire universe and galaxy. So in that, they would be the wisest, just below the Godhead of the Father, Mother, and the Son. And very, very knowledgeable, very kind, very wise, of course. But what they're offering is information, just information that can help our path be a little bit easier. We tend to make it very difficult. So they just want to let us know that if we're working with the flow of the energies within our planetary system, that we will have an easier time of moving forward and transmuting, transforming, and even in our ascension process. So they gave me sort of a lengthy message this time, and because I don't want to make any errors in it, I wrote it down and I would like to read it. I'm attempting to just let them channel through, and they do as they inspire my speech while I'm talking even right now. But they let me know that if I change any of the wording in their message, that even the words carry an energy that is specific to our needs and specific to uplifting us and transforming us. May be so subtle that we don't pick up on them, but trust me, our spirit does. In listening to them as they give the messages to me, I feel it elevating me, because I know that as they say a sentence or make a point, that I begin to comprehend it simply by being in their presence. Some of them are beyond my comprehension, especially when they're speaking of the universes and the galaxies and those things that we just know so little about, and also the gods and godheads. We have an intangible essence there that we adore and are striving to understand, but it's really beyond us, as we all know. But we keep looking and we keep asking. So I woke up the other morning, and just as I woke up, I had been waiting for a message from them, wasn't sure whether I would be receiving one. There's so much chaos right now in our nation and in our capital and with the things going on, that it felt like it was a little bit of an uncomfortable stage. I mean, even right now on the news, they're starting the vote in the House on the impeachment of our president. And so one of the things that have come through, and if you do a search online and find some information about the horoscope, of our planet, not of ourselves, but of our planet itself, you can find some fascinating information with regard to what's happening with our planet, how it is shifting and changing. And as a result of that, many things that have been hidden in lies and distrust and disingenuousness are being exposed. And that can entail a lot of different things, as will come out as I read this. Now, it isn't lengthy, and I think like 5 to 7 minutes or something like that, but if you listen to it more than one time, come back and listen to it again, because it is so brief. And listen to the messages, because each time you listen to it, something else will kind of jump out at you, something that will address your spiritual quest your spiritual thirst or hunger, and enlighten you and give you an indicator of maybe your next step for the next few days or the next, the next few months, or maybe even what's going to transpire in your lifetime. What they're sharing with me is not ominous, I don't think. However, it sounds like it is. It's just sort of a natural process, and we think of it as a smaller picture. They see it as a big picture, and so without belaboring that and going any further, I'm just going to start reading this. And if they are inclined to have me add something to it as I read, then I will do that. If not, I will just continue to read and then see if they have anything that they wanted to add uh, for you at the end of it. This I was given this divine inspiration yesterday on the 14th. As I said, as I woke up, I saw my hand writing that evolutionary idea part one. And then I just held that thought until I was awake and had had my coffee and a little bit more attuned to what they wanted to say. But as they explained it to me, it is with regard to our planet and what's going on with it and how that's going to affect us and how we should cooperate with it. So, evolutionary idea part one. There are 4 parts to this concept. The stage this planet is in now is a dwindling one. It is winding down and will soon be complete. Whether the planet moves forward or not is inevitably up to the next stage or phase and how well the energies are brought forward. There's always things that can interfere. To this time, the energies of transmutation have been shallow. Now what is going to happen is the energy of Pluto is going to plunge deep into the core of the planet. This act will awaken the Earth's own plasma. Just as the body has plasma in its circulatory system, so too does the planet. Plasma is life to the blood and life to the Earth. It needs a boost. So you could say Pluto will deliver an infusion of richly sourced energy. Its vibration will be very high. This begins this month. Once the plasma is activated, shifts will follow in the tectonic plates, and the result will be a new landmass rising up. Now, they say near the South Pacific shore, pretty vague. I thought, boy, that would be miraculous to watch something just pop up. So I inquired, and they said, this will not be abrupt. It will require years, possibly decades. But the other shifts will be obvious. We'll either feel them, sense them, see them. Now the new cycle begins. The planet will be infused with new and heightened energy. Its growth will force change in man. The planet will be in a new form of travail as it evolves. Gaia is offering this sacrifice of herself in order that she become more attuned and ascended. She wants to evolve and become sacred. In order to do that, she must change, literally. When the new energy comes in, beings will be forced out of the depths, now exposed to scrutiny, and truth. That means many things. It can mean literally beings that we know, the elementals, the different types of entities, beings that maybe we know about, maybe we don't know about yet, that are living below us in lower dimensions, within the inner earth, as I understand, which is still a vague concept to many of us. Some have seen it, some have experienced it. I personally believe it's true. I have not seen it, other than through a shamanic travel into the inner earth. That seemed very mystical to me. But many things of a darker nature are going to be exposed, and that can be beings of a lower vibratory nature as well that are on our dimension with us, such as some of our politicians or leaders. This is worldwide, not just the U.S. And many of those who don't have the best ideas or love in the heart of their business, in the heart of their politics, in the heart of what they do, are going to be exposed, and there'll be some dramatic shifts as a result of that. What happens to those entities remains to be seen, and those beings. But keep in mind, many of them may be like the darker elementals that are living in our planet that have been hiding out. And some of them affect only themselves, but some of them who don't always stay in the dark can have a very detrimental, yet also, depending on their nature, a very beneficial effect on us. So we're going to be seeing some different types of energies rise, and we're going to be encountering different types of beings if we are attuned to that type of a vibration. So it's an admonishment that though they've been hidden, and they're still working, when they're not hidden, they will be working more actively. So be very careful about what you encounter, be very careful about what you speak to, and certainly be very careful about anything that comes to you about embracing it immediately. Judge it, be very, very discerning, because these are going to upend a lot of our philosophies, and that's a lot of what is supposed to happen. Just be cautious. No more hiding, and their deeds will be transformed as they conform to the new energy. That is really good news. It isn't just that they were going to be exposed, but they will be transformed by this newer heightened energy, because having been at such a low energy and a new heightened one comes in, it will force either their demise or change in them, and it could go either way. The new plasma equals denser energy to obtain all the nutrition the planet requires to grow stronger. Less air, which I find interesting and don't understand yet. More water. Water is affected by gravity. Water is controlled by gravity. Hydrogen and oxygen are magnetic in nature. That is why water is so healing. Likewise, a healer must be magnetic in order to attract energy to the body that can be used to conduct radiation and energy flow to the person they're looking to heal, or to themselves. Gravity will increase for a time. Its pull is necessary to alter the fields around the planet. Gravity is a solar magnet. It pulls into the heart of the planet the healing and intensifying aspects of the sacred sun. There's sort of a shift here, which was an abrupt shift, which isn't uncommon, but I wanted to let you know we're shifting from the sacred sun to somewhat, sounds a little bit odd about life here. They're not demeaning it, they're making a point. And I had just put a little note to myself to try to explain beforehand. So it's not a demeaning thing, it is a comparison. So I will continue with that. Life is unimaginably, tediously redundant. Each day seems so similar to the day before. Excitement is sought in order to stir our soul a bit. Imagine then how the universe is structured in infinity. Millions of years of seemingly the same thing day after day, no time, no space, just activity and growth, and change is accomplished in creating all things new. Chaos becomes order. Creation is ongoing forever. There is no tedium in creativity. So the contrast between our lives, which are get up in the morning, go to work, spend your day with the same people, make the same commute, come home to the same television programs, and the couch, and trying to find some peace of mind and some rest, and knowing that you're going to repeat the same thing the next day. Some of us have a little bit less of that monotony, but most of us, our days are the same day after day after day. Regardless of where we live or what our occupations are, there is a tedium in it. The contrast that they're making is we would try to perceive universal areas, because there is no space, universal galaxies, and formulations that they have. It's hard to explain. Are different because they're constantly in a creative mode. So even though it may seem tedious, everything's always new. Even if you look at the formation of a galaxy, the Milky Way, for example, look at the beauty in the Hubble images that are being sent back to us, and watching the changes in those galaxies as they swirl and they move and fluctuate and change. And in that, they are creating. So our entire universes are in the process of constantly creating new. and from chaos comes order. Creation is ongoing forever. There is no tedium in creativity. Yet, it is the nature of man to extinguish creativity that requires change. Contrarily, universal energies are inexhaustible when it comes to creativity. Do you think the earth was created in 7 days? Given how tiny it is compared to the universe, I'd ask why not. 7 days is also from an idea with no time and space, so then it's possible, yes? Creativity is so lacking here. Building and growth, yes, but creation, not much. Science limits creativity because it says, prove it. Science is not a perfect science, not by any means. And most creative processes will be forever withheld from scientific inquiry because creation is mysterious and oftentimes inexplicable. Science pretends to be truth, and nothing could be further from the truth. So how then does your society evolve? This you must ask spirit, not your scientists. The field of medicine is a science that does not evolve. It does not understand the mystery of healing. For healing is creative, not curative. Creation is the result of creativity. From a tiny cell, new life comes. That same energy will prompt healing. Medicine treats effectively that which is from accidents, infections, and toxins. But healing is soulful. It is energetic exchange of life, not the replication of dying matter one can purchase at a parts store. Therefore, the evolution idea we present has a very creative aspect to it. Listen carefully. When the new shifts take place in the Earth's core, you must learn to adjust to its flow. It will ebb less and push all things forward. It must. It is Earth's fate, its purpose, its plan. Look lightly into a night sky and try to imagine each tiny star as an energy pill. It is beauty. It is wonder. The energy of each is encapsulated in the 7 rays. The 7 rays are formula to babies, food from the gods who take their nutrition from the universes, whose gods share with your galaxy. Sunat Kumara is but a name for the intangible Godhead, our administrator, our directors of wholeness and completion. They too are part of your oneness with your governing body, our loving commanders. 3 rays, emanating so brightly in energetic power that they maintain the whole body and consciousness of this galaxy. 7 universes, inconceivable, but so real. Vastness upon vastness upon vastness, limitlessness, infinite. Each ray comes from one of the 7 universes. It is focused into the Godhead, creating energy. It is life. Life producing and life sustaining and life altering, as we're going to see. They regulate the planets, starting from the oldest planet to the youngest. The planets are like conductors, and they orchestrate the flow. As they revolve and spin, evolve, so does the galaxy. Therefore, so does Earth. The consciousness of the galaxy is creative. Why the Earth is held back is because it is new. It is a baby. It teems with creative energy, more so than other planets. That is why it is so important in the process of creation and unfoldment of the universe. It is the only planet with creative juices that can create change in the beings that inhabit it, which would be us. The earth will force change. It knows it has to. So if you think your world is controlled by outside forces, you are correct. But your planet is the primary source of your discord because you feel its discord. The more you ground yourself to it, the more you are going to experience discord. That is going to escalate now. The earth shakes and quakes with labor pains. It is changing. It has to. The evolutionary process that is about to take place is not punitive. Don't let people tell you this. It is creative. Many will resist this flow of thought. Many will speculate that God is done with you. God is that enigmatic figure who is blamed for everything that happens, when the truth is, the shifts are merely evolutionary, literally written in the stars as the fate of this planet. This year, 2020, is the first new phase in the evolution of the planet. Those in alignment with change, growth, evolution of mankind will be little affected by it, and only in a good way. Those resistant to change are going to feel the magnitude of the forces of creativity. What is often viewed as catastrophe is really just the process of change. It is best then that people of Earth stop resisting the flow and learn to go with it in the knowledge that what you think is right or true is probably not. This is the end of part 1. Part 2, the elements of evolution. And in that, if there's anything that they feel that they would want to explain or that they would want me to elaborate, I am certainly happy to do that. 4 issues and 4 resolutions. Primary thing being the planet has to change. And there are going to be changes that will be superficial. There's going to be changes that will be deep within its core. They talked about gravitational forces. The upcoming thing, I have some of the information from the one tomorrow, is about what's really happening to our planet topographically, geologically, internally, externally, and how it is being affected by the galaxy and what is happening in the universes. What I found in this particular message for me, which helped me to understand some of the things they're trying to teach, is that they noted that there are 7 universes. Now, there may be some outside of that, given the vastness upon vastness upon vastness that they elaborated on, but there are 7 specific universes within our realm of creativity. So those rays that they're referring to are basically the controlling element of everything in our universe. If at any time you feel you want to understand more about healing, energy, the flow of life, astrology, your future, your path, study the 7 rays. Find everything that you can about it and open your mind to it. There are many, many perceptions of it and many conceptions of the way that it's explained, the way that the 7 rays are utilized. I personally utilize them for healing in conjunction with the 7 archangels, 1 ray for each, 1 color for each. There's so much information, but you would find that it would really expand your knowledge base by looking into something with regard to the 7 rays. And then try to correlate that with 1 ray from each of the 7 universes coming through our particular Godhead of the Father, the Son, the Mother, and how it branches out from there. Understanding the charismatic effect of light and color, pure light, and how it's refracted and makes the 7 different rays. It's shown scientifically that light does have the different spectrums, and look into things like far infrared for healing, light spectrum, and also that the planet, everything that we're doing here Our power source is the sacred sun. So I don't understand all of it, and I don't pretend to. I will continue to ask questions. I will continue to channel any information that they offer me, and trying to understand whatever it is that I can share with you that will be helpful to all of us. And I'm honored to be able to do that. Um, I think, but the rest of the day, my inclination and the information from them is that I will spend in getting information for part 2. And I really believe that it will be posted tomorrow. If that changes and I'm not there, I do apologize, and I will explain when it is posted. They may have me wait until next week, but I don't think they will. I think I will finish up part 2 tomorrow. And until then, I thank you for being here. Remember, watch that message over and over. Share it with your friends, please, because those energies are going to be difficult for people to understand. The more that we know what's happening and why they're doing it, the easier it is for us to go with the flow, as they said. So be like the water. Don't be afraid. Let gravity pull you toward your highest self. And I will see you next time. Thank you again for joining.